I'm a young, successful, biracial young adult. I want to talk a little bit about racial inequality, what that looks like in my life. As you can see, I'm married. I was able to do that on my own. I chose to represent myself as I'm working here on the job at Logic's Federal Credit Union. I work at a bank. That's right. I'm half black, half white, dark skinned, and I work at a bank. I have a successful job. I personally believe that these issues need to be addressed. I think that job applications don't need these screenings asking, are you Hispanic or Latino? I think that is unnecessary. Although I'm not Hispanic Latino, I feel that that is some large group of discrimination and inequality that is being screened out. And it would be absurd if there was a portion asking, are you Black or African American? So I feel for that other minority group that has that happen to them. As a mixed young adult, I have two different perspectives on life. Through the phone, I can sound professional, I can sound white, I can sound educated. But in person, maybe my lips don't match, my facial hair, my skin color. Maybe the way I carry myself doesn't match, and that's not okay. Next, I just want to talk about a little bit of the mistreatment I feel that goes on in America here. I see on a daily basis in my job aspect of life, in my school, just by the demographics around, there's different type of people and places where they belong. Personally, I don't think that's okay. The branch that I work at is the Chatsworth branch, which is known more of one of our, maybe, I don't want to say ghetto, but maybe a multicultural branch. And that's because we're in the center of the valley. Once again, I don't think that's necessary. I think that because we're not in Calabasas or Simi Valley or, certain parts of Santa Clarita where maybe a more white branch, I think that's another part of racial inequality that goes on here in America. I think that, personally, the article, Invisible Theater is where I wrote down here. Excuse me if I'm looking. The quote, they're saying, you're making everyone else in here uncomfortable. And they're kind of talking about how, because this person has does not have a father, has two mothers, they're talking about how it's making everyone uncomfortable. And although, myself, I'm heterosexual, I still relate to that as far as my racial inequality, because I still feel like sometimes I don't belong when I talk proper and when I have these certain pieces of success. I feel like people say those things to me. I had a friend tell me, oh, you work at a bank? I'm surprised. And I was like, why? Why is that? And the friend pretty much told me, I just didn't see you going into banking. And it didn't need to be said, but this friend is one that judges me based on my skin color. And that's just something that's been passed down to him from different people, showing that same inequality in America. And I think even based upon my job here and past jobs that I've had, there's still people being hired due to their race. And there's still people being misjudged due to their race. Like I said, why are there so many why are there so many different profilings for racism? Profilings asking what race you are, what ethnicity you are on these job applications. And I understand that sometimes they need to meet certain quotas of certain ethnicities, but I personally know people, managers, who have discriminated people because of their race, because they don't want any Latinos working at this specific area because it'll make it look dirty, or black people because it might make it look uneducated. So that's just my perspective. I hope that many can relate, and I know many do relate, but that's what I chose to speak out on, is the racial inequality that goes on.